Hey everyone, Mr. Inyart here. This is grade 6 module 4 and lesson 33, the second to last lesson of module 4. So I'll go over every exercise, break down a few things, and then the problem set. Remember to try a few things on your own and experiment before just listening and watching. Remember, it's not Spider-Man, even though, hey. But we are watching to learn, and that means we have to try and experiment, pause, rewind, and check ourselves and be honest. So let's get to it. All right, so lesson 33, module 4, grade 6, looking at what makes these true or false. It's really all we're trying to do. What can we write that would say it's true, and what can we write that says it's false? So when we have a problem like this, it's pretty direct. Something plus 6 is 16. There's only one answer that's going to make it true. Only one thing plus 6 will equal 16, and that is 10. And so my true statement is that y equals 10. That means anything else other than 10 will be false. So it's false if y is greater than 10, and it's false if y is less than 10. So the cool thing is we can write that as one equation. That's not an equation. One statement, one inequality. We can say that y, it's false if y is greater than 10 or less than 10. So if 10 is right here in the middle, and we put y over here and y over here, and we say that this y is greater than 10, anything greater than 10, and this y is less than 10 because the mouth's biting 10, not the y, then this says that anything greater than or less than 10 is false. And so what we're looking for here is an inequality statement that is true or false. And so yes, we could say, well, if y is 4, it's false. But there's a million other answers and a million other possibilities. And so writing an inequality statement like this encompasses every number that's not 10, and therefore making our false statement irrefutable. So let's try that with a couple others. Okay, so number 2, we have the same looking equation, but now it's an inequality. We're saying that something plus 6 is greater than 16. So this answer has to be 17 or more, which means y must be greater than 10. If y is 10, it isn't true, because 16 is not greater than 16. 16 is equal to 16. But I could also say it like this. I could say that y is greater than or equal to, so this symbol here means greater than or equal to, so it's just the greater than sign with a line under it. 11, because y can be 11, right, or anything bigger than 11. When you say this one, y is greater than 10, that means y cannot be 10. It has to be greater than 10, so 11 is the first number you could have. So this and this says the exact same thing. Either one works. But to be false, y would have to be less than 11, right? If y is 10, which is less than 11, that's the first number less than 11, this will not be true. Or I could say that y is less than or equal to 10, because if y is 10, this is not true. This would be false. And obviously if y is 9 or 8 or 7 or 6 or 5 or 4, anything like that, it will not be true. So either of these or either of these would be correct. So let's look at this one here. We have something plus 6 is greater than or equal to 16. So this can equal 16 or it can be bigger than 16. So to be true, y has to be greater than or equal to 10, because 10 plus 6 is 16, and that would make this true. And anything bigger than 10 would also make this true. But to be false, y just has to be less than 10. Anything less than 10, even 9.999, would make this a false statement. So let's come down to D. 3g, or 3 times something, equals 15. Well, the only true answer here, because this is a direct equation, right? Something times something else equals 15, is that g equals 5. So to be false, we want to say something like this. We want to say that anything greater than 5 or anything less than 5, right? If 5 is bigger than g, or if 5 is less than g, then we cannot be true. It would be false. And that covers all numbers. So looking at E, 3g, or 3 times something, has to be less than 15. So G would have to be less than 5. If it is 5, it won't be true because 15 is not less than 15. So anything less than 5 would work here, right? False-wise, if G is 5, so I did greater than or equal to, or anything bigger, it would be incorrect because then this would become bigger than 15. So it would be equal to or bigger than. And so that's why I use the greater than or equal to sign. For F, we're looking at 3G or 3 times G to be less than or equal to 15. So now 5 is included, right? G can be less than or equal to 5. But to be false, G just has to be greater than 5. It can't be 5. It has to be greater than 5. Anything bigger than 5 would make this false. Okay, so for these, we have these number options over here. And we're just looking for any of them that make this true. So since this is m plus 4 equals 12, 12 minus 4 is 8. 8 is our only option. 8 is here. So I'm just going to write 8. For B, m plus 4 is less than 12. So we need this answer on this side to be 11 or less. And it looks like 5, 3, and 0 would all work for that. So I'm going to write 0, 3, or 5. For C, the only correct answer for F is 6. And I don't see a 6 up here, so there's nothing. So it says if any are true. So I'm just going to say none. And just for fun, I'm going to write 6. But here, anything that is greater than 2, right? So 5 minus 4 would be 1. That wouldn't work. So it looks like 8 would work, 10 would work, and 14 would work. For E, looks like we don't have anything here because 1/2 of 16 is 8, and 16 is not an option. So I'm going to say that there are none, and then for fun, I'm going to write 16. But to be greater than or equal to 8, again, we'd have to have 16 or something bigger, so still none. But I could say anything if H is greater than or equal to 16, it would be true. Okay, so these are the same kind of exercises. Try them first, then check with my answers. M plus 5 equals 6. M has to be 1. M plus 5 is less than or equal to 6, so it could be 1 or less than 1, so 0 or 1 work. 5 times something is 40, that has to be 8. 5 times something is bigger than 40, that can't be 8, but it could be 11 or it could be 17. Half of something is 5, which would be 10. That's not up there, so not available. But for fun, I'm going to write 10. And if half of y is less than or equal to 5, then the y would have to be less than 10 or equal to 10. And 10's not up there, but that means it could be 8, 5, 1, or 0. Something minus 3 is 20, so it'd have to be 23. Not available. But for fun, I'll write 23. And our last problem, something minus 3 is less than, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, is greater than 20. So 23 would give me 20. That wouldn't work, so it would have to be 24 or more, which of course that's not available. So I'm going to write that K would have to be greater than 24. No, sorry, it'd have to be greater than 23 or greater than or equal to. Nope, it has to be greater than 23. There we go. All right, so give the problem set a try and then check back with the video. So here are the first 4. H could be 13. That would give me 5. H has to be 13. For number 2, it could be 9, 5, 4, 3, or 0, because all of those would give me an answer that's less than 5. 13, 18, and 24 would not. This has to be 9. 4 times 9 is 36. And these could be 9, 13, 18, or 24, because it can equal 36, or it needs to be greater than 36. Okay, and 5 through 8. 5 and 6, the numbers are not available because this would be a fourth of 28 is 7. And 28 is not an option, but so I wrote not available. Y would have to equal 28. And also not available is number 6 because this has to be greater than 7, which would mean the answer would have to be greater than 28 for y. But 7 has an answer, and would be 13. 13 minus 3 is 10. And 8 would have to be 13, 9, 5, 4, 3, 0, anything that's 13 or less, because 13 would still be true since this is less than or equal to 10. And there you go. I hope that helped everybody. If you have any questions, message me on Schoology or rewatch the video. Have a good day.